Have you ever lost something? Like, I don't know, like your keys or I don't know, something else, a ring, you name it. And you're looking all over the place, you're getting aggravated and you're getting frustrated and you're like, I know it's here. I just can't seem to find it. What the hell's going on? What happened to it? And you get really stressed out. You get really aggravated and frankly get a little pissed off. You're a little mad at yourself. You're a little mad at the thing that you're losing, that it got lost. All of that. It's a whole flood of emotions that come into us when we lose something and we can't find it. And in a lot of ways, it's the same way right now between businesses and consumers. All right, we have lost something over the past couple of years, and we're all looking to get it back. We just don't know where it is, and we just don't know how to bring it back. But let's get into it after this. Hey there, welcome back. I'm E.H. Howard, and this is the Small Business Show. We've been gone for a while. We took the month of December off and kind of retooled everything, kind of got over the holiday craziness. I did some work outside of the office and kind of tapped my toe back into public life. And it kind of brought me to where we are today. And I was talking to my friend Shirley the other day, and we were catching up after the holidays, and I asked her how the business was, and this holiday season supposedly, or if the reports are accurate, is one of the best holiday shopping seasons in almost 20 years. And from my experiences, my personal experiences, I can tell you that is true. People were buying anything and everything that they could get their hands on, okay? Now, that led to some problems, and Shirley and I were talking about it, and I asked her, I said, I've seen how some of these consumers are in public, and I see how they act. What was your experience? What was it like for you? And overall, she said it was a great experience. She had a really great year. Things were really awesome. The business took off in ways that she never had really expected. And she was really excited about that. As I pushed a little deeper, we kind of got into things, and I said, in general, what was the mood of the customer? What were their behaviors like? What were their actions like? And she told me a couple of things. And the first one was that there were some really great people that she had met with, she had interacted with, that she was able to help with. And they were a very small percentage of the people, but when she worked with those people, they were amazing. She had just a really awesome experience. Most of the people were kind of in the middle. They were good. They were great. They were good. There were some minor issues here and there, and there were some challenges, but in the end, she won them over, and they were very happy with the experience that she offered them. And she hesitated for a moment, and I was like, we need to talk about the assholes, right? And she said yes. And for every good consumer that you get, every great consumer you get, I should add, there is always a Carol, a Chad, a Tyler, a Karen. I hate using Karen, so we're not going to use that. I know too many nice Karens. That sort of ruins everything, all right? So they can kind of take away the energy in the room. But let's back up a second, all right? Let's back up. In case you hadn't noticed... Maybe you didn't, I don't know. People don't notice a lot of things some days. In case you hadn't noticed, it has been a shit show of epic proportions for the past couple of years. The worst part of it being the last 2 to 2.5 years, okay? Everybody is already on edge. Everybody is already pissed off before they even leave the house, before they even pick up the phone to talk to you. And I'm not blaming them. It is no fault of their own. We are all in the same place. We are all at wit's end. We've about had it. So once we leave the house, once we get out, then it's just like, before you know it, anything that goes wrong, boom, there we go. All right, we're primed and ready to go. And I find that the problem with consumers, that the challenges that we have with consumers right now come from this sense of they are looking for something and they are not finding it. Therefore, it's giving them more stress, anxiety, and pressure on top of what it is that they've already have. All right. And that's the problem. That herein is the problem. And where the problem comes in is consumers these days have been really primed by big businesses, by things like Walmart and Target and Amazon and you name it, any of the online retailers, that the experience that they can get there, and let's be honest, we're all crazy busy people. We've all got a million and one things going on. So there is some appeal to this sort of business model, let's call it, for lack of a better word. And that is fast, easy, and cheap. I can get it really easy. I just go onto the web. I can order it from my phone. I can set it up for reorder. It's super affordable. I can buy more than I need. I can have some in back stock. I can do it anytime, any place, anywhere. Okay? That is what big business has primed all of us to sort of go by. That is sort of our mantra now. And I give into that just as much as everybody else. All right. There are times, and particularly where I live, there used to be we'll just say Staples. There used to be a Staples about 2 blocks from my house. So whenever I needed office supplies, I could just bop over to Staples, right? Pick it up. The next closest, that one closed about 3 years ago. The next closest office supply store is about 10 miles from here. And you're like, well, 10 miles, but 10 miles, suburban miles. Okay, so you've got probably 25, 30 traffic lights. You got traffic, you got congestion, you got school buses, you got all kinds of stuff. So a 10-mile journey could be a good couple of hours, an hour or two, depending. And that's assuming that they have what you want and what you need. All right. So conversely, I could go onto Amazon. I can boop, 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 boop. Later today or tomorrow, I will have what I need. No muss, no fuss, no fuss. There is an appeal to that. And I really get that, because there are just times where I'm like, I really don't feel like driving the 10 miles to get a ream of, get a case of paper, and then drive back. And then there's nothing really over there to make it like a destination. So, okay, well, I can go to the grocery because the grocery store is on the other side of town. Do you see what I'm saying? So we have kind of become primed to, we need to get stuff. We need to purchase stuff, goods and services and whatever, as quickly and efficiently as possible, because we are pulled in a million and one directions. Opposite of that, there is still a huge portion of consumers. And if you see the demographics video and you already download the demographics worksheet, it is a huge chunk of people. I would say 40 and up. Okay, Gen X to millennials, all of that group, Gen X and boomers, that group, I'm sorry, that are still old school. All right. They are coming into a business. They're going to someplace like Walmart and Target. They're going to someplace like Amazon when things don't work out and they need to speak to customer service. And they are looking for the things that they would get, the experience that they would get from small home or solopreneur businesses. They want to be respected. They want to be understood, and they want their purchases to be appreciated. All right. You cannot get it fast, easy, and cheap while being respected, appreciated, and understood. Those are divergent ideas. They are concepts that do not go together. Those two will never go together. It is not the peanut butter in your chocolate. That will never happen. Okay? Therefore, when someone goes into a big box retailer and has a problem, has an issue, whatever, a challenge, they expect the classic big business customer service to kick in, and it doesn't. And then they become a Carol, they become a Chad, they start yelling, they start screaming, they start, let me see your manager. This is not how I should be treated. This is not, the chestnut that I heard literally everywhere I went over the holiday season, whether I was a consumer, whether I was working there, whether I was visiting somebody, whatever I heard was, the customer is always right. And it is from a very specific demographic, okay? It is the older demographic that is looking to be understood, respected, and appreciated. And they are doing it at a Target, a Walmart, what have you. Conversely, the other side of this is there are people that are coming to small home and solopreneur businesses where we offer respect, understanding, appreciation. Things cost a little more because we are smaller. We don't have the ability to purchase at the price point in mass quantities that someplace like a Target or a Costco has, okay? You're also paying directly to somebody for a pretty close to personal service, all right? Pardon me, if you hire a financial planner, a lawyer, what have you, you are getting a one-to-one experience with them. They're going to respect you, they're going to appreciate you, they're going to understand you. And if you go to that person because they are an industry expert, you are going to in turn listen to them. You are going to trust them. You are going to believe what they say. However, you cannot get that fast, cheap, and easy. Okay? It's not going to be cheap. I mean, it might be easy. Let's be honest, it might be easy. However, sometimes some of the small businesses will tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear, particularly when it comes to things like financial planning and banking and design and those things. Like that's a great idea. It's just not possible to do that. But we can make it very easy for you. But you will be respected and you will be appreciated. Sure, you might pay a little more and it might take a little bit longer than you had anticipated. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 10 days, whatever it takes. But you are getting out of that something deeper than goods and services, offerings, and that kind of stuff. All right? And that's where we are. That is the problem that we're having, is these two divergent ideas are pounding into each other. And I want it fast, easy, cheap, respected. I want to be admired. I want people to give me coupons. I want people to give me discounts. I want people to give me attention. I want follow-up. But you are never going to get that from a big business, a big box retailer, a big business. None of that. It is never going to happen. There is the appearance of that. They will give you some show, a little dog and pony show to make you feel like that is what's happening. But you're not going to get that from them. Okay? The only place that you are going to get that from is a small home or solopreneur business. So we kind of understand the problem now, right? We kind of understand what's going on. We understand why people are butting heads, because they're going into either a small home or solopreneur business and they're expecting it fast, easy, and cheap. And then they're going into a big box retailer and they're expecting to be respected, admired, and understood. And that's not going to happen. Great. So you brought up the problem, EH. You brought it to our attention. We get you. We understand what you're talking about. What the hell are we going to do about it? And that is a great question. Okay? And that leads me into the next thing that I wanted to talk about is both businesses and consumers need to make some changes in their thinking, okay? Not all the consumers, and again, this is for a very special, it's for your consumer. If you're a business watching this, this is speaking directly to your consumer, okay? Because your consumer is already tapped into you. They kind of have an idea of who you are and what you do, and they're kind of looking to get a little bit more out of you, all right? And particularly if they've been with you for a while, they're kind of hanging in there. So it's time to change our thinking on that. Let's start with consumers first, all right? Consumers need to understand where they're purchasing from and the experience that it is going to offer them, all right? By that I mean, look, I love going to Target. Where else am I going to find 24 pack of paper towels for like what, $12? All right, I'm just not going to find it. Where am I going to find bulk stuff if it's not Costco? Okay, so big box retailers, like I said, with office supplies, for me, that is my only option. You know, I'm in an office supply desert, so to speak. At the same time, I know when I go in there, if there is a problem, if there is an issue, that I am not going to get the kind of response, the kind of experience that I would get if I called a small business and had the same issue. Okay, so for example, we'll use my friend Shirley. All right, she's a home business. She makes candles. She's into candle making. That's her thing. And her side gig ended up becoming her full-time gig, but that's another video. If I went into a big box retailer, all right, and I complained about the candle that I purchased there, their only solution in almost every case, almost every time, is they are going to just go, here's another candle, bye. Right? If the candle was wrong the first time, what makes me think the candle is going to be great the second time? That is about the level of respect, admiration, and understanding that you would get there. Now, if you go back to Shirley and you say, this candle wasn't working for me, you will get, what was wrong? Did you not like the scent? Did it burn too fast? And she will work with you to figure out what the problem was to help you find the solution so that you don't have to come back again. Because in the scenario with the big box retailer, again, if that one of them is wrong, the second one probably is wrong. And when does that cycle stop? Okay, and that's usually when people are like, I give up, I'll just fucking keep the candle, I'll just re-gift it to somebody, whatever the fuck, I don't care. Those are the difference. So consumers need to understand, the consumer that is looking for that experience, that looking for that respect and admiration and understanding, needs to understand that, okay, if it's paper towels or, diapers, whatever it is, fine, buy those at big box retailers, because if they're bad, let's just give you another one, you can move on with your life, okay? Same things with TVs and all that crap. Just go to the big box retailer, because if there's something wrong with it, then fine. Understand that if you go to what can you purchase from a small business? Do a quick Google search, see what small businesses are around, particularly if you're looking for that, I want to be understood, I want people to give me feedback, I want people to appreciate me, okay? Look for the small businesses in your area that offer what you're looking for, that aren't like diapers and paper towels, and purchase from them, okay? So what I'm saying is, you need to sit down and kind of take 5 minutes and think, okay, what do I want to get out of this? What is the ultimate goal of this? Here's another great one, taxes, okay? I have used the quick tax services when I was younger, when it was easier. I didn't have a lot, you just do a 1040 easy, boom, they help you, you get it done, you get your refund fast, boom, you're done. That was fine, but I always felt like if there was a problem, I was kind of out on my own. Same thing with tax software. I always felt like, okay, I could do this and it makes sense, but what if I screw something up? And ultimately, I'm responsible for this. So the government isn't going to accept, oh, well, I went to H&R Block or I went to TurboTax. It's ultimately on me. And when I started my business, I realized I really needed to get a tax person, okay? I wanted to be able to have those conversations with them. I wanted to be able to say, I don't know if this is deductible, or hey, do I need to start keeping receipts for this? Could this be deductible? I wanted that constant conversation over a year. Same thing with if you hire a bookkeeper, instead of using Quicken, you can hire somebody and then they can be a resource for you. So you're going to them for more than just a transactional event, okay, for lack of a better word. On the business's side, we need to be really clear about what our experience is, who it's for, why they need it, and speak direct to them, okay? We don't need to worry about everybody. We need to focus on the people who want to partake in our experience, who are looking for our experience. You need to identify who they are and work the hell out of them. Show them the love. Go crazy, give them incentives, send them emails, whatever it is you need to do, and personalize it, okay? Because if you're a small home or solo business, you might have a robust, and again, I just want to be clear, when I'm talking about these businesses, when I say small business, I'm talking less than 50 employees, okay? So you're not talking about a huge business. In almost every case, I'm talking mom and pop Main Street style business, okay? Maybe it's the family, maybe it's 1 or 2 people or 3 people, but we're not talking a small manufacturing company. Your customer list is not that huge. I mean, maybe there's, I would say in almost all cases in the scenario of small home or solopreneur business, consultants, whatever. Even with a bunch of leads, okay, let's just pretend you had leads that you could add in from the past couple of years. Consumers, your current consumers, past consumers, and potential leads. Maybe 1,000 names at most are on that list, right? Maybe 1,000 people that really kind of might be interested in hearing what you said. I'm not talking about buying a list of people that you're going to go through, and that's a whole separate issue as well. If you even think about it, if you just focus for the moment, in the immediate moment, on that 1,000 things, send them a personal email. You can personalize emails pretty easy. Use MailChimp, use Word, whatever it is. Offer them different incentives. Keep in touch with them. Get to know them on a personal basis. And same thing from businesses. Get to know the business or the consumers. Get to know the businesses that you're working with. Get to know them on a personal basis so that when things come up, you can be like, hey, Beth, I hear it, it's March, so I know your husband, Bob, his birthday's coming up. Hey, we got these really cool things in. Do you want to talk about it? Or before it even comes up, you can stay in touch with them as far as, hey guys, there were some changes in the tax law. Here's what you need to know, whatever you need to do. The more important part of this, and we'll get into this with like sell the experience and stuff, is it needs to be consistent. And it needs to speak to them in a way that they understand, and that accurately articulates your business so that they can then repeat it. And that's really what we want to go for. So think about it. If you have even 100 very active consumers in your database as your core consumers right now, if you were able to articulate and explain to them in a way that they could then go out and explain to their like-minded individuals, if even 50 of those people talk to somebody and had them call you, you're golden. You're golden. Even 10 new consumers coming in that way. And that is the core understanding or core basis for small home and solopreneur business marketing, is it's all about building relationships. All right. And that's at the core of what we're talking about, is that building relationships, that one-to-one personal relationship, which small home and solopreneur business, that is it. That's our marketing. We love doing that. It's why we're drawn to networking. It's why we're drawn to social media. It's why we're always looking how to improve word of mouth marketing. But the only way that those things work is if you talk about your experience in a way that makes sense and attracts the people that want to engage in that experience. Make sense? All right. So the core of it all is about talking to consumers who are ideal and right for your business, identifying who they are, and showing them the respect, love, and admiration that they deserve. Conversely, as a consumer, we need to start looking for businesses that will give us the things that we're looking for. And I'm not talking just about goods and services. As a consumer, you want to feel appreciated, right? You want somebody to be thankful that you purchased your... Even a thank you card after a purchase will create a greater depth of connection between you and your consumer. And then when things get hard, like during a pandemic or crazy times, there is that bond that will help each other, all right? And I swear to God, I think that is at the core of everything that we are dealing with. I think it's why people are salty. I think it's why we're getting all of these Carols and Chads yelling and screaming. Well, not all of them, but there's a good portion of them that are yelling and screaming, like the ones especially in stores. We're not talking about the whole mask thing. In fact, that's a whole separate issue. I'm talking in general. And I didn't see a lot of that. I saw mostly people screaming, I'd like to speak to your manager, because I think the customer is always right stuff. And that's what we need to get back to. I think those are what people are looking for. I think it's why people are frustrated. I think it's why people are, because they think that they can take the ideas of fast, cheap, and easy and combine them with respected, admired, and appreciated, and understood. And that's not going to happen. And we need to understand the experience that we're looking for. And as businesses, we need to better explain what we do and why we do it. All right, so this has been the Small Business Show. I'm E.H. Howard. If you like this content and you like what I'm talking about, make sure you hit like and subscribe below. Ring the bell so you know when new stuff is coming out. I put it out I can't do it on a regular basis, although the Small Business Show does try to come out every other Wednesday at this point. But I do put a lot of stuff out as videos come up, so make sure you stay there. Follow me on social media. I'm literally E.H. Howard everywhere. Pop on over to ehhoward.com if you want to learn more about me, sell the experience, the new American dream, find your Betty. Other than that, I think I'll see you in the next video. All right, have a good day. Bye.